All right, I've got a package. Haven't done an unboxing in a while because nobody cares how long it's been or why. People have an attention span of like 30 seconds. I'm exaggerating. It's not that long. So we gotta get to the point. Shop, shop. All right, so I got this package from Koa Studio. Thank you, Reagan. Highly appreciate it. Unboxing montage. So what have we got here? Something you've never seen on my channel before. It's a Leiomano, a type of weapon that was used in Hawaii and other Polynesian cultures. As said, made by Koa Studios and very well made, I should add. Really nicely shaped, made of beautiful koa wood. Just look at the texture on it. Beautifully carved, sanded, and finished. Speaking of which, I'll link his videos of making this Leiomano in the description below. It was neat to see the process, and I was impressed by how much attention to detail he put into it, not cutting corners at all. Unless they needed to be cut, or rather carved or filed, or you get the point. So funny, huh? It's got a spike on one end that can be used offensively, of course. Some added nastiness, as you can see, in the form of tiger shark teeth. These are quite well attached, so they're glued into this channel here on the side and then tied down as well. And these triangles here are mother of pearl, inlaid, as you can see, not just glued on top, but actually flush, which also means that they're not coming out. These would tear more than cut and probably pierce too. If you got hit like that, oh, that would be painful. It's got a lanyard too to kind of lock it into your hand. And these feathers here are so soft. So with the right technique, you feather dust your opponent's eyes and then destroy them while they're blinded. It's really well shaped. Just look at how crisp the lines are here. And the bevel here looks nice and feels great too, like the shape overall. And I suppose you could do flat paddle strikes too for a less lethal option. Could even use that with a thumb grip. I'm not claiming they did, by the way. It's just, I try to apply HEMA techniques to everything just because, hey, it kind of works. You know, it's not a bad idea in this case. But yeah, it's fast. You can do some pretty deceptively fast attacks with this. You know, either in a slicing motion like this, try to rake them, or just blunt impact strike, whether it be with the flat or with the sawtooth edge, if you want to call it an edge. It's a line of spikies. I'm actually pretty impressed by how well they line up. You know, when you look down the row of sharp teeth, that's pretty good actually. The points are generally in the same spots. Now they're curved, so they're technically not straight in line with the weapon. They're a little bit curved, so I'm assuming it makes a difference with which side you hit, right? Now they're curved inward. When I flip it, it's curved outward. So how does that matter? Good question. Isn't this basically the closest to Monster Hunter weapons that we have in real life? Kind of. Usually people test weapons like this on things like melons and pineapples and pumpkins, but that doesn't really tell you a whole lot because those can be pretty easily damaged with a butter knife. But I wouldn't want to test this on a zombie head. Would it be interesting? Yes, but I wouldn't want to ruin all the hard work that went into this because I have a feeling that those would break off if you hit a head. It would be a very unpleasant experience. Don't get too excited. I'm not gonna hit him full force because I'm pretty sure that's going to damage this beautiful weapon or at least degrade its visuals. But I can't help it, I'm curious. I just want to see just a little bit, you know? Just like, what does it do to the nose? Just... Damn. I'm sorry, dude. This is exactly what I didn't want to do. Shark teeth are not super sturdy, and I mean, I can see why. They're hollow. This makes me wonder if these were really used in combat, or if it was a ceremonial weapon. I know, ceremonial is always the excuse when we don't really know, we don't understand. Either that or it was a disposable weapon where you expected it to break, break off in the flesh, maybe. So you would just repair it and make a new one. I mean, it cut the nose. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a cut here. So this was all on the squish. This should not have hit the bone. The broken teeth are from an earlier test. That's unrelated, ignore that. Okay, what if I just rake him a little bit? Oh, yeah, you can see how they go into the flesh. Ugh. just raking it a little bit like this, the individual teeth hook into the flesh and then pull it off. Pretty sure if I smacked him hard with the flat over the head, I could break the skull, but I don't want to risk damaging the inlays too, so I'd rather not. I suppose I could use this. Might be able to pierce the skull with this point with enough force, but I don't want to risk damaging that too, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, on the upside, the broken, jagged parts are still sharp. Like, this would still hurt a lot to be hit with. And the broken pieces are now more robust, so you can actually hit harder with this without further damage. Even if the tips of the teeth break off, that doesn't render the weapon useless. Like, you can definitely still do a lot of damage with it. And even if all of the teeth break off or get damaged, you still have quite a solid striking implement. Well, here's some good news. I managed to retrieve the broken pieces and super glue them back on. So here you can see that pretty well. There's like a tiny fragment that was lost. In case of this one, you can barely even see that it was glued. Up close you can just about make out the faint line, but that's pretty good actually. It's only a cosmetic repair, but that's all I need because I'm not planning to test it anymore anyway, so yay. This would definitely be most effective against an unarmored opponent. I feel like a Gambeson would probably stop it entirely and get the teeth stuck and slow it down, stop it that way. But of course, there's still the sheer impact. Koa is rather dense wood, so this is still light, but for wood, it has a certain amount of heft. So you can definitely feel that it's not flimsy. Anyway, thanks again, Reagan. This is awesome. It's such a badass weapon to add to the collection. I always find non-metal weapons interesting because they're just so rarely covered, right? And we don't know as much about them, or at least it's harder to find good information. It's remarkable just how little information there is about these weapons. Most of the articles I could find were behind paywalls, and I'm seeing only one picture of a confirmed original Leiomano in a museum. By the way, from what I understand, that's not a knuckle duster type grip, but it was originally attached to a longer handle. I found an interesting book, Warrior Arts and Weapons of Ancient Hawaii by Sid Campbell. I haven't had the time to fully read it yet, but I'll link it below in case you're interested. Be it Polynesian or Melanesian or Australian Aboriginal or Native American, etc., etc. There's a lot of weapons here that are a little bit harder to find good information on. So yeah, this is so cool. Anyway, hope you found the look at this Leiomano interesting. Thanks for watching and take care, folks. Stay away from sharks.